was going to mention one little thing that was launched during Arendalsuka, which we were a part of. So I'm going to use 3 minutes before I want to let all of you roam around in the building, have a look at all the pictures, go to the rooftop. There is a tent over the DJ booth, so you can get some food down here, take it up. If it starts lightning and thundering and raining, you'll be 100 people in a small tent. That's fun. But what I wanted to mention quick, which I think builds on a little bit what we've been talking about today, so I'll go to the beginning, is that we are in this kind of crisis stages now. Or kind of when we, in 10 years, look back, you'll have 2000 as the .com, you'll have 2008, you'll have 2022. So we're in that stage now where things are resetting, and that's also a kind of period for opportunity. And in the startup ecosystem, the startup ecosystem is a complex thing. I think that's what we've been talking about. It is maturing. You need a full market within the financing part. You need a full market, kind of nationally and internationally, to be able to sell and collaborate. You need talent from kind of local talent to be able to attract international talent. It is a complex thing, and all those parts need to work together. And if you look at Norway, and the reason why we are as kind of well off as we are, it is because of private and public collaboration. So our kind of whole oil age is built on that. Our grandparents are the kind of true pioneers. You have the Vikings, and then you have our grandparents that kind of built the country that we kind of take the frukter of now. Go easy on the beer and finish this off smoothly. So my point is, I think this crisis now is kind of our chance as a startup scene to really affect things politically. Næringspolitikk is at the top of the agenda for politicians now, and if we wait 3, 4, 5 years, we're going to be in some kind of norm, and it's going to be not that interesting again. And some of us here, Johan, Trond, Jeanette, several of us have been a part of, for example, Gründeroppropet in 2016. We went out, shouted, made this 30-pager and 10 things the government should do, and we got meetings with the prime ministers and all other ministers, and we sat in their houses, and it was cool, and it felt important. And then that much didn't happen after that. And that was my next picture, because after that, we didn't have a full plan for where we were going to land it and what we professionally were going to do. So after that, the 15 people that were a part of Gründeroppropet and the kind of 50 to 100 others that were central in the startup ecosystem, they went in all directions, talking about we should do stock options, we should do this with formuesskatten, we should do something within that sector, or that sector, and that sector. And what it ended with was a couple of wins within a couple of fields. But in general, the politicians looked to us and thought this is an immature stage, very hard to work with. We'll come back in 5 to 10 years when you manage to professionalize and you manage to talk with a strong, powerful voice, and when you manage to align and do something at a higher level. So we weren't taken that serious. And I think we deserved not to be taken that serious because we were unprofessional and immature in that field. So I and others have been inspired by what has been happening in our neighboring countries. So this is how it looks in Norway right now. You have 50 hodeløse høns running around talking to politicians and in media. If you go to Denmark, this is what happened. Huh? Yeah, that's how we run the companies as well. But if you go to Denmark, this is how it looks. You had 50 founders of all the greatest companies, the strongest ecosystem voices. They all got together during Corona, and they decided that now let's unite our voices. Let's try to find a structure and professionalize and find some points and get some power towards the political side. So in Arendalsuka last week, we launched an initiative. We've been talking about this for a long time. Politics is always something that everybody talks about. And what we need to do, I think, is we need to align and we need to manage to do what they've done in Denmark. They're doing something similar in Sweden. They're doing something similar in Finland. And we've been talking. These tech town halls, it's been a topic for 2 or 3 of them. So together with the factory, Startup Lab, Startup Trondheim, and also with a lot of help from Fredrik and Catapult, we have put aside 100,000 kroners each And we've hired Mats Blybakken, who sits over there, 40% to do the grunt work, because that's the problem. There's a lot of grunt work. Establishing an organization, what are the vedtekter, the web page, this and that, what are we going to meet, the political foundation. And last week in Arendalsuka, we presented the initiative. So there was a story about it in Shifter last week. We presented an initiative where our goal is to create a unified political voice and an organization that works together with the other Nordic startup organizations and also ntsa, the venture capital organization. So typically, the venture capitalists that have a little bit more time and a little bit more money and are a little bit more opptatt av power, they've had that organization for 10, 20 years, whilst we are thinking about it now. So we in my opinion, we got to do that. And I would urge everybody to go in to ntsa.no and sign up if you're interested in it. What we will do now, this group, is that we will start getting engaged founders into the group, and we will set the political blueprint, we will set how it's organized, and we will set what the ambition for it is. And if we agree as a kind of startup community that we should do this and we want to do it, we will create an organization with an employee or two. If we don't manage to do that, at least it will land at being a political alliance, aligning us a little bit better. But that initiative is launched. Our hope is that becomes the political organization that is the founders' political organization, where we function as a niche political organization, just like ntsa does. So you'll hear more about this in the coming months, and I hope that everybody supports it and spreads it, and that this becomes the kind of political voice that we need. And lastly, the reason for doing it now is that there's an election in 2025, and the momentum is right now. And if we are to actually going to affect politics, we won't do it through media, we won't do it in a day or two, we'll do it in a 2-year horizon. So that's the right timing to start something like that, and we have to build from now. So, yeah. Cool. I wanna close off with that, and then head up to the tent upstairs, look at all the pictures, ask the Hall of Famers about their things in their rooms, and have a good time. We're open here at least till 8 with food and drinks, and the food is coming here now. So enjoy. Thank you.